Hello everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a get ready with me with my makeup basket that I produced a little while ago. That would have been, I think, the last video you would have seen on the channel. And so we're gonna do a little bit of an everyday makeup look. I am teaching in a couple of hours, so this is really like my everyday look. I usually don't want to put in a ton of time to get ready for that. So I thought we could use the bag. If you are also getting ready for something, we'll do it together. We'll have a little chat, and I'm excited. I want to get started, but I need to put on some lip treatment. This is just what I have at my desk at the moment. This is the Rosebud Salve. Look at that. I might be a little bit overexposed, which hopefully I can fix in post, but look at that. Bam. Isn't that cool? Okay. So I also have my sunscreen on. This is the sunscreen I use. I am wearing makeup. The other ones don't do all that well with makeup underneath. So this is the one that I like. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. And all the products will be listed in the description box below. I'm gonna just take this out because it's really large and in charge and like takes up so much of the basket or the bag. So this guy is on its last, like very last legs. I'm really hoping to get it out for the next Project Pan update, which really isn't all that far away if you think about it. I also decided that I'm not going to be doing an update for the Confidence Project for April because I really want to spend more time with the gratitude focus. So I'm going to take an extra few weeks and I feel really happy with that decision. So there's the primer. I have really been loving mixing these two foundations together. I think the look is really gorgeous and the color is really nice. However, I really want to finish this foundation and we are really getting to the bottom. We are really getting to the bottom of it, so I really am just gonna, I'm gonna use it alone today, which it's fabulous. It does work alone. Oh my god, nothing is coming out, but there is product in the tube. So we are just gonna, there we go. Yes, there is a lot, like there's a lot of product in there. I do have my mirror just down to the left, so I need that to apply this foundation. Yeah, I am definitely overexposed. Okay, move in closer. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're good. I think the exposure is better. I did try and fix it and I'm not looking so bright up close. So like you can see right here that like, I mean, I'm missing concealer, but I think you can tell in this exposure that it's looking okay. So we're gonna move on to concealer, and I just have the MAC concealer in there. It's been working really nice. I still don't like how much it pumps out at once, but one of the things that I noticed is that what I have been doing before is like just dabbing it on like here and then waiting for it to dry and then going in. However, I've recently changed that up. So I just will go right in right away. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. I put too much the one time. I've been doing this regularly for a couple of, at least 2 weeks now. And I've really been liking how it's been looking. But I definitely put too much. I've really come to realize that less is more, and I feel really crazy with the difference between the foundation color and the concealer. It looks really prominent on camera, and look at how much I have left over. I don't know if you saw it, but I really tried my best to do a half pump. We'll just mix these kind of things together. We'll just blend it down the neck. Oh, nope, that made it worse. That made it worse. Okay. I need to just stop. Quit while you're ahead. It looks okay, but normally it looks better. At least in my opinion. Now I'm gonna set it with this Lawless powder. I used to use this brush to set my under eyes, but lately I've been using this brush. It's just much smaller, obviously dirty from the powder, and this brush is just kind of no comparison. This one is just much smaller. And I've also been trying to use less powder. I really like dusting. One of the things I don't like about this powder is how much gets in the cap. Other powders, it's such a struggle to even get any powder out, but with this one, there's so much in the cap. Really come to like this powder for setting the under eyes. I think it looks really nice. And now to set the whole face, I'm just using what I have, the Super Stay powder. It's okay. I really wouldn't repurchase it. If you watch my last low buy update, you'll know what I bought to replace this powder with. Pretty excited to try that out. I was also thinking, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But I was thinking of maybe not doing a low buy update for March because I haven't bought any makeup at all, and I'm not planning to. Like, we're only a few days left of March and there's no chance I'm bringing in any makeup. I have purchased a couple of clothing items, and so I'm thinking of just doing like a new in kind of video, like new in clothing for spring, because I've really been like working hard at preparing a spring capsule and really trying to find pieces that are versatile and kind of really trying to fill holes in my collection. That's what I was kind of thinking, and you know, maybe bring that video mid-April when I have hopefully everything. And I've also really been thinking about or one of the, I guess, the ideas or things I've been thinking about when creating my April capsule is really the versatility of the pieces. So, okay, just as an example, I really want a blouse. And so I was thinking like a white blouse, and then one of the things I've really been like craving or feeling like is really missing from my wardrobe is a colorful blouse. And I've really been looking, like like everywhere. And I haven't really come across a colorful blouse that I love. There's one that I really like, and I keep going back to the Poshmark site, and I keep going back and looking at the listing, and I keep going back and looking at the listing. And I don't know if that's a sign. I'm just not 100% sure, but I don't know if I ever could be until I get it. I'm gonna throw up a picture on the screen, and there's also a white blouse on there that I kind of the same thing. But I'm just a little bit torn. If you watched my spring declutter video, you would know that I had talked about blouses there. And I want a long sleeve blouse, and neither of the blouses I was looking for are long sleeve. And I know that the colorful blouse is really just like a spring summer piece, and you do need, you know, pieces in your wardrobe that function like that. But where I live, not a ton. And the colors are just really spring summer. So I was thinking that if I got a white blouse, then that would have to kind of do a little bit more work. Like maybe it should be long sleeve so I could wear it in the winter, because I want it to be versatile. So I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna do. Both of the pieces are not all that expensive, but it's not the price. It's about the you still, no matter what something costs, I mean obviously price matters, but no matter what something costs, like it's still gonna take a place in your wardrobe. Like it's still gonna take a hanger. So I still want to be smart about it. I have really been loving this blush. It's kind of been on repeat lately. It's the Party, Blush and Party. I've also been looking at this really beautiful blouse on Aritzia. I wanted to get it last year, but it's like a puff sleeve. I'm gonna have to throw up a picture as well. It's a puff sleeve blouse. I did not get it last year because I was like, this is not a practical purchase. Is the puff sleeve trend, are puff sleeves here to stay? And also, can I layer it with sweaters? Probably not. So it would just be like a blouse that stands on its own, that like you would have to wear without, like you probably couldn't put a sweater on, and if you did, you would notice like bumps. And the other blouse I'm looking at is also a puff sleeve, much less puffy, but still in that same vein. So I'm like, do I want two puff sleeve blouses? I legitimately cannot decide. We're now gonna go in with Doube-Gleam. I've really been liking this. I don't quite think I'm ready for Opal yet, but even so, I've really just been enjoying this highlight. And so I'm really trying to think about, could any of these be good for fall? And if not, then they would have to be really versatile for like spring and summer. And I got this really beautiful blue skirt made of linen, and white top would look good with that. And I think the other top that I'm looking at, the like colorful kind of puff sleeve, would also look good with that. But I do have a green skirt. The white would go with that. The colorful one would not. I don't know, I kind of have been moved. Do you know when you're so indecisive, you end up not making any choice? So I don't know. And I kind of, last summer, I literally lived in my bike shorts. So I mean, we all know I'm a bit of a casual person, but I've really been interested in romantic styles lately. And I think that getting one or two pieces, like to see if that style is for me, is not the end of the world. But I also just don't want to go about making mistakes. So I'm just not sure. I did just go on a really long tangent about about like my clothing and new and for spring and that kind of thing. But there's nothing really new in my life that I want to update you on. I have my Italian exam coming up. Who the hell knows how that's gonna go? But that's kind of it. And I don't think I would get my results in like before filming that video. So we'll see. I just don't really feel like there's anything to report. Maybe I just do it. Maybe I do it and I talk about how I'm really just not interested in in buying makeup. And this video, not this video, the makeup bag video really showed me how kind of overwhelmed with makeup I am. And I did talk about in that video that there was a couple of things that I might be interested in buying. And I still feel that way, but I haven't pulled the trigger. I think if I did, I probably would on lip gloss, just because I use that so much and I really love it. But so I have been feeling overwhelmed with makeup, and this makeup bag has been the solution that I want, and I don't even have to think about any of the other makeup that I own. And I feel so super content with this. So I don't know if I'm gonna buy any makeup anytime soon. But I also think that the low buy update could just be my opportunity to remind anybody who needs the reminder that you don't need to shop the Sephora sale. You don't need to lose your mind about it. I am still fairly confident I'm going to get the two things that I said I would, a lip balm and my Marc Jacobs highlighter. But those are straight up replacements. I do still want the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow, but because of this project, I'm just not feeling like I absolutely have to have it. And I think I did say in that previous video that I wanted to use up one shadow first. My brows are feeling really browy, like really thick, which I love. I don't want to really do much with eyeshadow, honestly. So I was thinking of just doing like a gold. Let's do it. So for single shadows, this is my little palette of dreams. This is probably my favorite shade of all time, but I'm not really feeling a cool tone. It is Colourpop Snake Eyes. Oh, are we gonna focus? There we go. And then this one I just pulled is Colourpop Ringer. And then also, I would say maybe my second favorite shade of all time is Naked Lunch by MAC. I'm making it a little bit more complicated for myself, but that's fine. I'm gonna use Ringer, and then I'm gonna layer that top shade. No idea what it's called. There's no names, but that middle shade right there, I'm gonna layer it on top. We need a lot more. Dug into that shade. I have hooded eyes, so I have to put the shadow higher so you can just see something. There we go. I think I'm gonna put that pink shade just right in the middle. Let's see. I don't think it's making much of a difference. Okay, it seems like we are getting all the technical difficulties today. So what I did is I'm definitely gonna have to use this shade alone. It's a really beautiful shade, but I swatched the other one first and I really liked it. So what I did was I just layered a little bit of Let Me Explain just on the inner kind of part of the eye. So I'll show you like right here. And I really like the way that that looks. The gold color Ringer looks it looks very gold up front, but then when you swatch it on your eye, it looks much more orange. We are all good though. That's just a really simple eye look that's kind of normal for my lips dried out a little bit, so I'm gonna use some of the Kosas gloss. This, I had to take the stopper out. We're pretty gloopy, but I personally found that with the stopper in place, I had to dip in a few times to get the desired amount. Maybe I just like my lips super juicy, but I feel quite happy with it out. So we just need to tightline and do my inner corner highlight. My students I've been getting so many emails today. My office hours are today, and I did not get a single student all semester until last week, maybe the week before. They got their marks back for an assignment, and it was, as a whole, not very good. And so there's lots of students who are panicking. I was really frustrated by that assignment because the average was pretty low, and it was quite an easy assignment, and the instructions were really, clearly spelled out. But a lot of students struggled, and some of the very basic instructions weren't followed. And usually, you get a handful of that, but not a large percentage of the class. And also, like 40% of the class either did not submit an assignment or handed it in late, which I've never, ever had a late assignment percentage as high as that ever. I know sometimes, we can assume knowledge. We can assume that other people have the same level of knowledge as we do, or like we're just assuming too much. And I considered that, and I think in some respects that's true. Part of me was really frustrated about it because nobody came to see me about the assignment. And so there was a lot of confusion. And when I met with all these students afterwards, it was I didn't understand, like I shouldn't be penalized. And one of the things I preach so much that, again, I don't think students fully understand until they have their own experience. I preach that students need to take ownership of their education. And one of the things that means is if you don't understand something, you have to go seek out help because you're the one who faces the consequences. It's not me or the professor, it's them. And you don't just get TAs don't mark leniently because, oh, you misunderstood something, so like oh, she didn't get it, like we shouldn't mark her. No. And students don't realize that they need to be asking for help, that, you know, not understanding something or not knowing something like isn't an excuse to be marked differently or to get a higher mark or to be exempt. It doesn't excuse you. So I had this student who was like, I'm so sorry I missed the first couple weeks of tutorial. I was on holiday. Sorry, homie. That's not how it works. I'm trying to, you guys, maybe make light of the situation. I also think that COVID really affected these students. That like they're struggling themselves, and also even like their education has been significantly impacted. One of the biggest, I think, struggles like as a teacher, like we're teaching, is that usually I get to see people's faces, and from their faces I can tell if a student, if the class is getting it or not, like if the students are engaged, or like if they've done their readings or if they just don't know. But I have absolutely no context for what's happening or like why everybody's quiet. Like, is it they don't understand the question? Did they not do the reading? Or is it that they're just not sure? But we're all, I think, just doing our best. But I do want to, I guess, move away from that and end on a high note. This is the look. Oh, let's do a little spray. This makeup has to last a long time. It's 11 o'clock now and has to last till 8 p.m. So it's getting a full day. One of you suggested a couple months ago that like you wanted to see a get ready with me. And the first thing that came to my mind was just an excuse like, oh, I'm not good at them. I'm not really good at applying makeup on camera. I got Canada on the brain. So I was just like, no, that's not for me. But one of the things that, you know, my confidence project has taught me is that just because you haven't done something doesn't mean you can't. And just because you don't have experience with something also doesn't mean you're not good. And how do you gain experience? It's by doing it. That was the impetus for this video, and also my makeup bag. So this works for me, and if you've been feeling overwhelmed, this could be maybe a strategy for you to do as well. So that's everything. That's going to complete the video. I hope you had fun getting ready with me today and hearing a little bit of, you know, chatting. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I hope to see you again around here soon. Bye.